Good morning, Sat Sri Akal, Namaskar, and Adab. This is my 30th video, and in this video, I'll discuss a very particular, specific order by the Governor General. This was an extract meeting held on 28th October 1958. This actually was specifically speaking of that there has been misconduct within the British which existed. The boundaries of cantonments were not being maintained as per rules and regulations. No land within the cantonment was ever surveyed under the Land Revenue Act. Now imagine in 1858, the Governor General is accepting this mistake, and various orders of the area which speaks of, and there was a board conducted. So these revenue settlements and these extracts of those revenue settlements actually came up in various numbers called 5343, 5344, 5355, 5336, and so on. It went up to 5347. These were inputs. So when such clear happenings, but we were slaves. Can anybody actually tell me that can we ask our judiciary, our executive, or our legislatures, the three pillars, that laws which were made during the slavery period, are they subjected to us even after independence? Just see I would see the honesty in this 1858 Governor General board proceedings. It actually is admitting that within these cantonments what happened. But just imagine today, after independence, 15th August 1947, till this date of 2022, are we inhabitants of these cantonments independent? Does the Constitution give us all its rights? No, it doesn't. So, in 1858, when these grants were being given or were subjected to, it was clearly written in the GGOs that there could be no grant given to the native. It had to be given to a military officer, and as per his rank and designation, the size of the grant was fixed. How come then these grants became 9 acres or 15 acres or 20 acres? I have a document which is showing a grant which was more than 32 acres. So what actually were the duties in 1858 when these board proceedings say that there were no surveys, there were no boundary pillars, and grants were not subjected to revenue or ground rent? So what all was happening? The happening was that the local district collector, who was subjected to the duty of either acquiring these lands under the 1850 Land Acquisition Act and then hand them over to the local military authority or to that what we call today the station cell or the army, which could be called a military boundary pillar cantonment. Under that Rule 4 and under the 1864 Act, the civil area or the civil population could also be brought under the cantonment only for the health, sanitary, hygiene, which is written in those acts. So, because civil population was to support the British officers' daily needs. Are we a fixed grant? Are we paying any ground rent? Even when we were subjected to a new grant under GGO 1836 or 1827 or 1838? No. So now the question rises, how this extract or proceedings can be used in the benefit of us. Now, let's say if you talk to an advocate. I remember when I was talking to this advocate in Supreme Court, you know what he came up and told me in this case of a hill station? He says, Mr. Das, this is in the benefit of the government. The government would say, yes, we are admitting that we made mistakes, but now since it's 150, 200 years, these mistakes cannot be rectified. How stupid. How foolish. Because we've not pleaded this. If a government officer is breaking the rules and laws as a custodian to execute those laws, who's to be subjected for those wrongs? Is it me or him? That's where it is. So these grants, which were supposed to be registered, the DC never did them, because till 1864, the cantonment magistrate was not given these powers. So these powers must have come to him after this 1858 order. Now, where are these registered grants? Let's say in 1836 to 1858, the army got on that A was not registered under the 1836 GGO or 1827 or 38. So what do we do now? These grants had to be of fixed size as per the rank. Neither they are coming forward. Grants had to be given only and only to serving officers. They moved into the hands of civil natives. So how were these natives given these grants? And why were they given these grants? Were since 1836 or 1793, presumptionally till 1899, there were no natives in these grants? Let's put it this way. And after 1899 Cantonment Code only, the natives started moving into these grants. Are we trying to say something like this? Are we pleading something like this, or has the government ever pleaded like this? No. So please guys, we can use this extract that there was a huge misconduct. There were no surveys conducted for your cantonment. There were no boundary pillars for your cantonments. So how do we call them that a bungalow or a grant or an old grant is within the cantonment boundary pillars, or is it within the military boundary pillars? Please, my request, educate yourself, and then you'll understand how we can use it. Let's not try and understand those advocates who don't even know what cantonment laws are. Yes, they may be masters of the civil acts. They may be masters of the constitution. They may be masters of the general acts which are taught in the law courses. But Cantonment Act is not taught in the law courses. So once again I am saying, we were never new grants. Why we were never new grants? Because we were old grant. We were revenue free grants, subjected to a conversion into new grants, which we are not. So we are free grants. We are grants as proprietors. So friends, that's what I wanted to say. So let's meet. Thank you. Good day.